Hello pupils, good morning wherever you are. This is mathematics section Std Iv. My name is Teacher Mabula. I'm going to take through about measurements. Let us refer to the previous lesson, which it is concerned about time. We have already discussed about time, reading time, about the use of past. We can refer back to the previous lesson about the use of past. We discussed about the use of past that when you are reading time, you have to consider the use of the first minutes up to the 30th minutes. You need to use past. But today we are going to discuss about the use of the word part, to. How you can use to. When you are telling time, you need to consider these two things. You need to use past and to. But how you can use them? Past, we have already started from the first minutes to the 30th minutes. You need to use past. But you have to read, or you have to tell the exactly time, or the specific time. But for this case of the use of to, the use of to, we need to change our minds. We have to use to by telling the remaining minutes. When you are telling the remaining minutes, means that how many minutes there are remaining to reach the o'clock time. Or you mention the remaining minutes to reach to o'clock. But also you have to mention the next time. How now we can use? Let us see. For example, Example A. Example A. Let's say it is 7:35. How we can tell this time? How you can read that time? This one means that we have to consider the remaining minutes since it reached to o'clock. Now, how many minutes there remain again to reach to the next o'clock? Means that to 00 minutes. Now, this one you have to use, let's say, use subtraction. Use this subtraction. You'll take 60 minutes, you subtract the minutes which are there so as to see how many minutes there are remaining so as to reach to the next time. Now you'll take 60 minutes, you'll subtract with 35 minutes, the minutes which are there. Now let us see how many minutes there remain. Let us subtract, this is 0, take away 5, which it is impossible. You come here, you borrow 1, then this one should remain 5, and this one should become 10. 10 take away 5, they will remain 5. Then this is 5. 5 take away 3, remaining 2. These are minutes which they have remained. As I said, that you have to mention the next time. You have to mention the next time, which means that the next time here, it is 7, the exact time it is 7. Now the next after 7 it is 8. Means that you have to say When you are reading this time, you have to say the time. It is 80. No, it is. You have to start with minutes. It is 25 minutes to 25 minutes to the next time, which it is to 8. That is how we can use 2. Another example. Let us see another example. Another example, let's say it is 12:45. This one you can see it is 12:45. But when you are reading time, you have to consider the use of 2. As I said, that we need to mention the remaining minutes, and you will mention it the next time. How now you can get the remaining minutes? As I said, that you have to subtract these minutes, subtract them from 60 minutes. You subtract to see how many minutes they are remaining to reach 2 o'clock. Let us subtract. 1 here, remaining 5, this one becomes 10. Remaining 5, remaining 1. Now we have got, they are remaining 15 minutes. So now how you can tell the time? As I said, that you consider the next time. This is 12. If it is 12, means that you have to mention the next time. The next time it should be what? It should be 1. Now the time it should be you will say it is, they have remained how many minutes? 15 minutes to this is 12, the 15 minutes to 1. 15 minutes to 1. That is 15 minutes to 1. But you have to consider that this time, the time, it is the 1 minute, 1 hour has 60 minutes. This is 60 minutes. When you convert them in a fraction, you may find that when it reaches 15 minutes, means that it is a quarter an hour. So we have also to know that concept, that when it reaches 15 minutes, means that we have quarter an hour due to the conversion of fraction. We know that fraction, when you take 60 as 1 an hour, you do convert it into fraction. You may find that a quarter an hour means that you will divide that 60 minutes, you divide it into 4. You will get it is equals to 15 minutes. Means that 15 minutes, it is a quarter an hour. Now, you can say, the one who have written this one and the one who can say, it is quarter to 1 also is correct. Let me show you why this one also who has written it is quarter to 1, it is correct. If you take 60 as one hour, when you divide it by 4, means that you will take 60 divided by 4, whereby you may get it is 1 here 4, then remaining 2, 20. Now you may ask yourself, we can ask ourselves that 4 times how many? The answer is equals to 20 here. It is times 5. Now we'll get it is 5. So 15 minutes automatically it is quarter an hour. And because of this quarter an hour, let me tell you even about it, a half. A half also, when you will take 60 minutes divided by 2, so as to get a half of it, because a half is something which it is divided by 2 equal parts. So when you take 60, you divide also by 2, you will get it is 3 here, whereby this is 60, 0, 0, 0, means that is 30 also is equals to what? Half an hour. And this one it is quarter an hour. So that is how we can do. Then let us continue to another example, which it is example C. Let us see another example. Example C, let's say it is 2 dot 59. 2.59. 2.59. This one means that this one they have already passed into the part of the use of past. Means that we need to use this subtraction so as to get the remaining minutes, whereby we may take 60 minutes subtract it to 59, so as to get how many minutes they remain. Since it reached to 2 o'clock, how many minutes they are remaining to reach to 3 o'clock? Let us subtract it. When you got 1 here, you remain with 5, then this one is 10. Then take out this one equals to 1. Then this is 0. So the time it is equals to, as I said, that you must start with the minutes. When you are reading time in words, you have to start, when you are telling time, you have to start with the minutes. How many minutes there are remaining? It is 1 minute, 2 what? You come back to the time, check the time it is 2, means that you mentioning the next time. The next time it is 3. Now it is 1 minute to 3. That is how we can do. That is how we can tell time by using 2. Then let us see another example, which is example B. Let's say we have 4.31. What time is it? You have to check. If they have already passed it to that, means that is that time we must use 2. Now how we can use 2? As I said, that you have to take the minutes which have existed to that. You subtract it from 60. Now we may take 60 minutes, subtract 31. Let us see how many minutes they remain. All 1 here, 5, this one 10. Now the remaining 9, this one 2. So it means that 29 minutes they are remaining to reach to the next time. This is 4. Now the next time should be what? 5. So the next time it is 5. Now how many minutes there remain? 30, 29. 29. Now how you can tell this time, how you can read? You will say it is 29 minutes to 29 minutes to the next time, which it is to 5. That is how we can do. But I do purposely to give you this one because some pupils they may confuse that why these minutes are 30. As the teacher said that when it reaches to 30th, you can use what? Past. No. When it exists even 1 minute, you have to use 2. That is the concept of the use of 2. We come to another example, which it is E. Another example, let's say you are given 5 dot dot 5 dot dot 5 dot dot 54. 5 dot dot 54. 5 dot dot 54. Let us see also how you can tell this time. This means that if you check the minutes, has already passed into, they have already passed into 30 minutes, which it is a half an hour. Now we need to change the mind that this one we must subtract it from 60 minutes so as to get the remaining minutes. Now let us see. 60 take away 54. Let us subtract. We'll call 1 here, remaining 5. This is 10. Subtract here, remaining 6. 60. This is nothing. Now this is 0. So it is 6 minutes. Now let us come back to time. The time it is 5. If it is 5, it means that we need to measuring or to read the next time. This one should be what? 6. Now you will say, what time is it? It is what? It is 60 minutes. 60 minutes to 6. 60 minutes to 6. That is how we can do. My dear pupils, now we are through with this, the use of past and the use of to. But you can see, you have seen how it is different and how we can use them. So, due to the time, let me give you some questions which you can attempt wherever you are, so as the next time I can check and I can collect you where you can mistake, and we can share some different idea concern about the use of to and past. So you can attempt this question. Number 1. Read the following time. A. 4.00. B. 2.29. C. 5.39. D 12.06. Let me end up there for today, and let me welcome you for the next lesson. Thank you for listening. Thank you for those who review this video. Welcome for the next lesson. Bye bye.